We often hear the saying, home is where the heart is, but is your heart truly present when you're at home? How many of us are kind to the world, but struggle to show the same kindness to our families? It's easy to be patient and loving when we're outside, interacting with colleagues, friends, or even strangers. But what about the people who know us best, the ones who are closest to us? What if I told you that your true character is not determined by how you behave in public, but in the way you treat those who are closest to you at home? You see, for a long time, I thought being a good person meant helping others outside, being polite to strangers, and doing my best to make a difference in the world. But it wasn't until I realized something important that I truly understood what it meant to be a good person. I wasn't being the best version of myself at home. I gave my family whatever was left of my time and energy, but I wasn't present for them in the way they needed me to be. And that bothered me deeply. The people who meant the most to me were not receiving the best of me, and that wasn't right. The moment I realized this, I began to reflect on my behavior. I saw how easy it was to get caught up in daily distractions. We live in a world full of noise, work, social media, daily tasks, and everything in between. Sometimes, this makes us forget the importance of the people who love us unconditionally. This realization led me to one important conclusion. If I wanted to grow into a better person, I needed to start by becoming the best version of myself at home. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best of you are those who are best to their families." These words stuck with me and shaped my understanding of true character. I realized that Islam places a strong emphasis on how we treat our families. The home is the first place where our character is tested. It's not just about being polite to strangers, it's about how we treat the ones we see every day. The way we interact with our family is a reflection of our internal character, and that's where my journey of change began. For too long, I assumed that my family would always understand. They would accept whatever I gave them because, after all, I was working hard for us. But deep down, I knew something was missing. I wasn't giving them the attention and love they truly deserved. We often get so caught up in the demands of life that we forget the importance of being emotionally present. The real test of our character is how we show up for our family, especially when we are not at our best. I remember one evening when I came home after a long day at work. I was tired, frustrated, and looking for a quiet space to unwind. But as soon as I walked through the door, I saw the look in my family's eyes. My wife, who had been managing everything at home, was exhausted. My children were craving attention, but I was too focused on my phone, scrolling through social media, to notice their need for connection. In that moment, I realized that my focus was misplaced. The people who needed me the most were right in front of me, but I was lost in my own world. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the things I had missed, the small smiles I overlooked, the stories I didn't hear, and the love I didn't give. I asked myself, why am I treating the world better than my family? Why am I showing more patience with strangers than I do with the people I care about most? This question haunted me, and that's when I decided to make a change. I realized I needed to focus on becoming a better version of myself at home, starting with small changes. The first thing I did was put my phone away. I knew that my distractions were preventing me from being truly present. No matter how busy or important I thought my messages were, they didn't matter more than the people sitting around me. The best gift I could give them was my attention, so I made a conscious effort to spend time with them without distractions. Whether it was during dinner, when we played games, or when we simply sat together and talked, I made sure to put my phone down. This small change created a big impact. My family began to feel my presence, and they appreciated the attention I was giving them. Next, I focused on patience. Patience is a quality that is so important, yet so difficult to practice, especially when we're tired or stressed. But I reminded myself that if I wanted my family to be patient with me, I needed to extend the same courtesy to them. There were moments when I felt frustrated, whether it was a disagreement with my spouse or a challenging situation with my children. But instead of reacting negatively, I chose to pause and listen. I realized that sometimes, all we need is a moment of understanding, and that moment of patience can change everything. By being patient, I showed my family that I cared about their feelings and their perspectives. Small acts of kindness and service also made a big difference. At first, it felt strange because I was so used to thinking that I had to do big things to make an impact. But I quickly learned that the little things matter the most. I started helping with household chores, whether it was washing dishes, cooking a meal, or tidying up. I didn't wait to be asked. I just did it. These actions spoke louder than words. It wasn't about keeping score. It was about showing love through service and demonstrating that I was an active participant in our home life. Additionally, I made an effort to express my love and gratitude more often. Simple words like, "I love you" or "thank you" can go a long way. I began to say these words regularly, reminding my family that I appreciated them and that they were important to me. Gratitude strengthened our relationship and made our home a place where love could flourish. As I continued making these small changes, I noticed something remarkable. The atmosphere in our home began to shift. There was more laughter, more peaceful moments, and more warmth. The changes I had made in myself were reflected in the way my family responded. We began to enjoy each other's company more, and the bond between us grew stronger. I realized that by working on my character, I had started to build a stronger, more loving family dynamic. The transformation wasn't instant, took time and effort, but it was worth every bit of it. And I knew that I had to keep working on being the best version of myself for my family. True character doesn't just shine in public. It shines at home, in the way we interact with the people who love us most. We may think we have time to change later, but our families are waiting for us to show up now. So, I ask you, how can you be the best to your family? Start by reflecting on your actions. Are you giving them the best part of yourself, or are you distracted by the demands of the outside world? Take time to listen, to help, and to show appreciation. And remember, no change is too small to make a difference. Your family deserves the best version of you, and in becoming that person, you'll not only change your family's life, but your own as well. If you found this story helpful, take a moment to reflect on how you can be better to your family today. Share this video with others who might benefit from this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories and inspiration on building a better character. True character shines at home. I hope this video has inspired you to look inward and focus on being the best to those closest to you. Take care of your family and let your true character shine.